Alright then, this is today's style. It's a half up with a little bit of bling that's designed to be very pretty because I am going to be a bridesmaid. So I am doing lots of styles that would be suitable for attending a wedding or being a bridesmaid or being a bride. So I hope that you enjoy it. Alright then, you will need clear hair elastics and some bobby pins, as well as something to section your hair with. And if you're going to be using decoration, you need the decoration. I have this very sparkly thing that I'm going to try that may or may not actually work in my hair. Let's get started. So, brushing out your hair. This is going to be a half up, and I am fond of having curls with my half up. If you have curled your hair, do not brush it. You will brush out all of your lovely curls, but my hair is not currently curled, so it's fine. Now, the general idea is the same as when we're doing the plaits to the back, and I'll post a link to that video below. But instead of a 3-stranded, I'm going to use 5-stranded, and we're going to do a little bit of jiggery pokery with the rest of our hair so that we can have some loops. So I'm going to do is take little sections from the side. This is where I'm going to look very, very silly. Make sure they're the same size and secure them under my chin. This is because I need these bits to stay out of the way and I can't pull them back because that's what I'm about to do with the rest of my hair. Okay, so front bits are sectioned out the way. What we need to do now is take a little bit behind the ear and a section to the top of the head on both sides to make our plaits going backwards. I'm just going to join them together with a little bit more hair. Alright, so I've put a plait in the back section just to reduce the risk of pulling bits from there accidentally. And I've taken my left hand side and just tucked it underneath this bottom separation. So we've got our 2 front bits, our 2 top bits and a back section. Now I'm going to start on the right hand side. Now we're going to do a 5-stranded braid. However, when you take your section from behind your ear, which is what we're going to start with, there's not very much of it. And I don't think that I don't particularly like starting very small braids with all 5 strands because they end up too small. So what I'm going to do is start with a 3-strand. So bottom strand under the middle strand, top strand under the middle strand, bottom strand under the middle strand. Now what we're going to do now is add in a strand. We're going to take a bit from here, this section. Now instead of adding this to the top strand, we're going to put it over the top strand and under the next one. And then what we're going to do is take this bottom strand under the next one and then over the next one. So you've now got 4 strands. We're ready to go with the top. But again, we're not going to use this top strand. This is now going to become the 2nd strand again. So take another section. Now these want to be about the same size, if not very slightly larger than the sections you're currently using, because we're going to be adding to each one. And then we're going to go under what would have been the top strand, and over the middle strand. So now we have 5 strands. And we're going under, over on each side, and from now on we're going to be adding to the top strand. So bottom strand, under, over. Take these 4 and then add to this top strand. It's a little bit fiddly. You can pretty much drop this top strand between using it. So, under, over, bottom strand, under, over. And we're just going to keep going. Another trick you might want is this bottom strand. You can store it in your mouth between using, so that then when you're adding, you're only having to use 4 strands. So I'll show you that now. Now, because this next bit's going to be hidden, what I'm going to do is, instead of continuing on with 5 strands, which is quite time consuming, I'm going to split the 5 into 3 and just finish it off with a 3-stranded. Just very quickly, because this is going to end up in a little bun. So you're not actually going to be able to tell how many strands are in this end bit. If you want to leave this a little bit, what you can do is you can still continue on with 5 strands if you want to. Of course, you can always do 3 strands where I have done 5. If you can't quite get your fingers around it, takes a little bit of practice. If you're not used to 5-stranded braiding, I would certainly start by braiding all of your hair in 5 strands, or make 5 little plaits and braid those together. That's a lot easier until you get the hang of it and what you want to do with your fingers. I am going to be making another video about 5-stranded braiding and what I do with each of my strands in terms of finger holds. So I'll try and post a link to that so you can check that out if you're not entirely sure. But I've got here, you can see that this is going all backwards. And I've got a nice braid around. And I'm going to secure this with a little elastic. Alright, so now I have 2 plaits. And a couple of small sections at the front. I've secured the plaits at the back with a single pin. I'll be sorting them out later. I'm going to do these plaits first. And I'm going to rope braid them. Again, you can use any plait or braid or whatever that you would like. If you put more 5 strands in, it would look very intricate. Now I'm going to twist both strands towards my face and then twist them away from my face together. That's just the look that I prefer for this. Alright, so 2 rope braids. The next stage is to make our little bun. You can see that actually what I've managed to do is lose some bits from these back plaits along the way. It doesn't matter, that will blend in with the rest of your hair. Now, what I'm going to do is create a little bun, and I'm going to actually bring some of this into it. Because I want a little bit of substance to the bun to help stick the decorations to it. So I'm going to take these 2 and an extra section and plait them together. And just bring it around the front of your head when you run out of arm strength or reach or whatever. This is not a style that is good for people who struggle to keep their arms above their heads for long periods of time. Now, as I'm going, I'm just going to pull out my little elastics, because I don't like to leave the extra elastics in. Just going to use this one to secure it. It means that you need less elastics, and it also means that when you come to take out your hairstyle, you have less elastics to take out. Lots of pins, lots of elastics everywhere in hairstyles, especially if you get back late or be out drinking. You just end up going to bed with your hair still up, and then in the morning it's even worse. Alright, this plait I'm now going to bun. And I'm going to bun it quite gradually and pin it as I'm going, because I want it to be quite sort of steady. You can pull bits out if you want, make it fluffier. Slightly fluffed braid, and now to bun it. I take it and I sort of twist it under and then spin it round. You'll see what I mean. Now just to check that, I think that looks okay and central. Now we're going to make our loops. So we're going to take this one and loop it around the bun. So I'll show you that. Alright then, now the tricky part. I've got to get this brooch in. It's very annoying actually in that it's secured just, if you can see, here and here. So it's not terribly evenly secured, but I'll see what I can do. Just putting an extra pin in to try and tilt it a little bit. So and there we have it. So from the front this looks like quite a demier style. Then we've got a little bit of sparkle in the back. And if you curled your hair, this will look absolutely beautiful. You can always add some extra loops in if you wanted to. You could pin them up. If your hair is longer than mine, the other thing that you can do is that when your loops are looped around the bun, you can loop them back and secure them halfway along your plait. Mine are sort of about, well, they're about 1 inch too short to do it, so I've just wrapped them around my bun. But you will be able to do this hairstyle with hair that is a good few inches shorter than mine. If it's shorter, you might just have to have slightly higher loops, but it will have much the same effect. Alright then, happy styling!